Hi, I'm Dawna Lee Heising, and we're doing this interview with More Horror with the great Domiziano Arcangeli.
Hello,
No,
everybody.
and we're here at Domi's new house. It's gorgeous. Okay, now
Thank you.
for the people that haven't seen my other interviews with you, can you talk about how you got discovered?
Of course. Well, it was quite a long time ago. I won't even say. I can actually say it since it's pretty much all over. um, in 1980, I was found really by a very famous photographer, an art photographer, a high fashion photographer of international fame, Helmut Newton, and he was really, he used to be well known to be very
Oh, he's
picky.
still. Yeah.
To be, yeah, no, yes, but I mean, also to be very picky with his models because he
Oh.
loved to photograph more women, not so much
Mm-hmm.
men. Back then, I was like a 13, 12. So I was like, in the middle of coming of age, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
and he found my look intriguing, I guess, captivating. For some reason, I honestly with you never knew. I mean, I was very grateful. I can tell you that one. But I mean, I have never figured it out. But
Oh,
it took
Domi,
me.
you're beautiful. You know that.
Well, you're so sweet, and so are you. But anyways, he took me to Berlin first, then I think to Monte Carlo, Milan, and we did a series of photo shoots. I think one became a little more famous or infamous because there were some nude shots, and I mean they were completely artistic,
Hmm.
black and white, that
Yeah.
kind of like really shade, in the shadows, everything
Hmm.
covered, nothing like porn or anything, of course. I mean, very far from it, but very provocative as
Yeah.
an image, as they used to be, as his work used to be, and a big controversy started because of my age.
Oh,
And
okay.
and it was a time, when Brooke Shields, who was of course very famous then, had done a movie with Louis Malle, co-starring with Susan Sarandon as her mama.
Oh, yeah. Blue Lagoon, right?
No, Pretty Baby. Yeah,
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
Baby first,
Okay.
where she was playing a 12 years old prostitute. I mean, with Louis
Oh.
Malle, one of the greatest directors ever, so in a very artistic context, but still naked, at
Yeah.
12. Then the Blue Lagoon,
Oh,
which
okay.
was actually in 1980, 81 when it came out, a mainstream movie.
Mhm.
Today you couldn't make that movie. I mean, she was 13 and she had full frontal nudity,
Yeah.
and even Christopher Atkins back then, he was 17,
Mhm.
and he had full frontal. I mean, today with the new laws and legislations, it'd be impossible. So I guess this pictures went up to number of very important publications,
Oh,
way
so
that they
it
were.
made you really famous then.
Or yes, a little infamous. It was like the. I think I always say it was the tip of the top of the iceberg,
Uh-huh.
and so there was a controversy. There was also a court. Yeah,
Oh.
it became a painful affair, but you're
Okay.
right. It worked out for publicity, and
Yeah.
everybody started looking at these pictures.
And then then you went on to work with Federico Fellini, right?
Yes, he actually saw some of these pictures, and he was a huge fan of Helmut Newton, actually.
Okay.
And what a great circle of people! My God, I'm so
Mhm.
grateful. Um, So he called me to Cinecittà Studios, which is the biggest studios in Europe, and for a screen test, which, back then to make a screen test in Technicolor, Panavision, was still a big deal. It
Yeah.
wouldn't happen that easy. Also because he was preparing a movie called America from the novel of Franz Kafka. And the protagonist is 13 years old, and he was also intrigued by this face, who was like the one of a child, but
Mhm.
with more adult, mature eyes,
Uh-huh.
and a provocative glare, and the screen test, went really well, and I was told I got the part.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, after months of working for shaky financing, the movie was never made. So,
Oh.
what's funny is that at that point I had gotten so much buzz because of that screen test and the pictures, that I had started working both as a fashion model and, believe it or not, and
No, I've seen your pictures. They're gorgeous.
thank you. And and as an actor, I had done already 3 movies. They didn't even want me to, really. They wanted me to wait to that one, but they offered, so I couldn't help. One was in Japan, so I went. When I came back, they told me that the movie was never getting made. But I got to um, reenact that situation, I think 7 years later,
Uh-huh.
when he made, this time for real,
Oh,
this movie
okay.
called Intervista, which is the
Mhm.
one I had my part in. And since it was a movie based on his memories about filmmaking and his career, he put in this segment, to this episode that happened of a young actor being screen tested
Oh,
numerous times for a film that was never sadly made.
okay.
But so that's actually quite peculiar, I think, and I think it was very fantastic that
Yeah,
he
what
wanted me to go back on set, and this time to really to be in a movie with him.
Yeah, what a fantastic career you've had. Now, how many movies have you made so far?
I think
Uh-huh.
it's, if I count, everything, it's probably about 200 now.
Wow. Well, so I mean, you're such a great actor. Did you ever study or did you just learn on the set?
I learned, I really learned on set.
Mm-hmm.
But, to a point, and I have to be quite honest, I wasn't even sure I was gonna go farther. All this. Then I got to model, to do high fashion, haute
Mm-hmm.
couture, for Thierry Mugler and Jean-Paul Gaultier, all the
Oh.
edgy, designers of the time. And actually, I did a huge campaign for Cerruti that I have still pictures of it as a memorabilia. And between that, I mean, I was really super busy. Like by age 16, 15, I was so much busier than anybody. But I wasn't really sure. It was just like really something of a great adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I became more aware of a performance later on.
Okay.
I first expected to be directed throughout,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, and
Well, you were a teenager.
that's also true. But you know how it is. An actor cannot cannot live, expecting,
Yeah.
and so like when I was at that point, 1920, then I took things much more seriously as I do now, and I went to the National Drama School of Italy, which is actually a very big deal, or used to. I don't know now because I haven't been there for so long, but it used to be a huge deal. We had teachers who were major master directors and or actors. I mean, I could drop some names, but it doesn't matter. Um, really amazing. And you can get, it's very limited, only 12 or 14 people a year can get in. And
Wow.
you submit, and you have to go in 3 times for 3 auditions. And that they go down, for like the first 10,000 applications,
Uh-huh.
you go down and down till, the last 15. And I made it in. I guess also because I had
Uh,
gained experience by then, and that helped. So I did
Uh-huh.
2 years with that, still
Wow.
managing to work in between, or taking a week off sometimes to make a movie,
Okay.
or during summertime.
Okay. So, why did you decide to come to the United States?
Because I always loved America. I mean, modeling, by modeling, I was often in New York in the 80s. I had some great friends, a great crowd at the time. Man,
Yeah, I know. Must have
those
been
were the
exciting.
days. I mean, some really cool people. I'm
Uh-huh.
very grateful to have met them and to have had so much fun too.
Okay.
New York was fascinating. I knew LA because I had some family. It was never a jump. I always had an American passport since
Oh, yeah,
birth. Yeah,
you're
I'm
okay.
Italian and American. I mean, yeah, I have two passports because of
Okay.
my family complex background. But that was great. So I didn't have that problem situation, to come here like some foreigners do, and
Okay.
so I honestly I had an advantage. At one
Mhm.
point, the scene in Italy was getting a little tired for me, and I think for a lot of people there was crisis, as unfortunately there is now. It used to be one of the biggest, like film world in
Uh-huh.
ever. Even here in America, people would line up for Italian movies back then and or before. Now, besides the great beauty with Paolo Sorrentino, which is a great director that I actually have met recently, and I hope I'll work with one day.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
the Great Beauty won the Oscar, but other than that, you rarely even hear of Italian movies, unfortunately, because they don't even really make so many, and
Mm.
so it came natural after I had met, because I was also doing stage plays and stuff. I had met this director from New York, Jonathan Miller, who is
Uh-huh.
actually really a great avant-garde director, and he asked me to do the protagonist of off-Broadway play in 1997, I think. After that, being 6 months in New York and then coming here to LA to visit some people, friends, and stuff, I'm like, I'm
Good.
settling down. I got my
Okay.
first apartment and then bought a house and then another house
Mhm.
and then now the family.
Yeah,
And this
now
is
now
all,
you have twins, so
yeah, two boys who are, believe it or not, almost 4 now. They were born on 11/11/11. Skylar, Cameron, and Thor London. They are two stars, two angels, and they're really good boys. I'm
oh,
really
they're
proud
so
of them.
cute. They look like Dommy.
They actually look much better than Domi, but
No. You're so humble. Okay, well, we're here to talk about your newest film, so
yeah.
tell us about it.
Well, I'd like to talk a lot about a movie that's coming out just for Halloween because it's this a very romantic, gothic vampire movies called Orgy of the Damned.
Mhm.
It's a little bit of a dark, dangerous liaison's tale about the lives of the damned to live to eternity in this sort of Bret Easton Ellis type of society, on a very
Oh.
jaded LA. I play Fosco, a very romantic, ideal vampire. and there is a big cast of horror,
Mm-hmm.
genre cult actors, among them L'Oreal New, Lisa Dowling,
Oh.
Randall Malone, Chandler Mannes, Joel Habner. I mean, I could go on, Devon Pin. I could go
Mm-hmm.
on and on. Um, I'm very happy with it. I think of all horror movies, Empire Films, our company has produced, it's the most handsome one, and
Oh.
yeah, because it was done also with, I must say this, it was done with the supervision of my new partner, my business partner, and right arm, Aaron Benor, was
Mm-hmm.
fantastic, and we really got amazing sets, and the story is so, I don't know, so haunting and harrowing at the same time. I think, I hope it will be a success. So I'm really waiting so much for that because I'm the lead and I'm also the executive producer,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not just pushing it. I really believe in it. Then we have a movie that we have shot a few months ago called Travel Well Kamikaze. That's a more political, artsy personal film from two twins directing, two young twins from a very famous Italian filmmakers family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Huge. But then they came to me because no one in their family wanted to produce this movie. It's one of those like nouvelle vague almost, very new. It's about a, a terroristic attack to LA, all shot in
Oh.
POV, and it's quite something. I must say I'm very pleased. It's a difficult one. It's a tough one, but it's one of those movies that I could really break it. Because it is so unique, so
Yeah.
visionary.
Well, anything to do with terrorists is really interesting and timely.
Timely, yes,
Mm-hmm. I
unfortunately.
know.
There is also, it's almost like identification in the soul of a terrorist. And why would he be doing that? Also being an American, because in this case, it's not a foreigner or an Iraqi or anything like that. It's just actually an American trying to uh, kill his country, which is
What role do you play?
Oh, I play because the protagonist, we never see him because he's the camera, right? We see all the movie through his eyes. So there are a few characters. There is Irina Hoffman, also Alexander Slassers, and many others. All doing cameos. I have the more extended part. I really love that. I play a man in despair that he meets in the subway actually, and I start telling him my life, and it's also cute in a way that the audience would think that my poetic vision of life could make him perhaps change his mind.
Oh,
Things. I have a movie called Vampire Club 3D, which is just fun vampire, romp,
okay. Mm-hmm.
and then a movie I love with this great Sundance Best Picture film director and also Master of Director at USC, Everett Lewis. Was a
Oh.
great director, and it's called Territory, and it's a drama set in the art and fashion district downtown LA, and about all
Mm-hmm.
those young people. I play a very bizarre man, then there to key to disappearance of an artist.
Okay.
Very interesting movie, great, fantastic shooting experience. I don't know yet when it's coming now because Everett likes to take his time for post production, and it's been a while. But I'm sure the script was fantastic. We shot 9 weeks
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a great movie. Then there is another one called Lurker, which is going to be certainly going to film festival. It's from this young talented director Ernesto Roche, and
Uh-huh.
with the director of photography Harry Savides. So he had a lot of very gloomy atmosphere. Also, that it's a very dark tale, mysterious, very a little bit like The Tenant from Roman Polanski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those are the new projects. And then Empire Films,
Mm-hmm.
Iron, and our new partners have a bunch of things slated to start. Soon Our Darkness Become, a movie that it's been written by Ryan Harris for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then another script from J.D. Driscoll called Mariah, and that should be starting production, pre-production, really, really soon because we want to shoot, hopefully even before the end of the year. If not, like really at the beginning of January.
Uh-huh.
So, and then
And
there is probably another project with Domiziano Cristofaro. Remember that director who made the House of Flesh Mannequins?
yes, yes.
Yeah, he's just been working a lot in Europe. He has this new script. It's called the Stalking Woods,
Oh, okay.
and we'll be shooting that in Italy. But we are
Mm-hmm.
really furthering negotiations to go ahead
Okay.
and do that. I just want to do. I've been trying to make a little more quality pictures as I used to make when I just got started. I think sometimes you let yourself go, which is totally fine. As an artist, you should experience many. I mean,
Yeah, well, also
many.
because you're a star, probably everyone wants to attach you to their films. So, but I mean, but you've always made good films, and I'm proud to have worked with you in Natural Born Filmmakers, and I know you're doing Dead Maker too.
Yes, I'm doing Dead Maker. Also, I always love to work with Steve. It's such a long. It's more of a friendship at this point,
Uh huh.
But it was great to work. I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet. We did together, but
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy to have all my scenes with you. And I think we done.
Yeah, well, I was so happy because I played Domi's wife.
And
So for me,
well, I,
that's
and
like,
I play your husband. So I mean, it
yeah.
was fantastic, and we had so much fun. Now I'd like to see the movie. I know it's going to some festivals. I'm really happy for you.
It was nominated for Best Comedy at the Action on Film Festival.
That's great,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Congratulations to Steve and to
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm sure you had a much, I think, larger role, and
I think
um,
it was like an ensemble piece, but it was a lot of fun. So, and I learned a lot doing it. So you've got so many films coming out. Are in the next few months or in the next year?
yes, there is a lot from especially between the end of 2015 and 2016. After I mean, there hasn't been much this year coming out besides Club Lingerie and well, that
Oh,
was
you were so funny in Club Lingerie.
I haven't seen that yet either. I want to see. I have to
You've
catch up
been
with
too
the
busy,
movie.
huh?
It's I want to say the truth. It's the producing aspect. It's
Mm-hmm.
Empire Films running a company. An independent
Oh,
film company today is really, really taxing, and we gotta work really so much to get
yeah.
project starts off the
Is it
ground.
you and Aaron?
Aaron and I, and we have a couple of other, investors, and one is more of a attorney consultant, and they're
Okay.
minor partners, junior partners. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, we're doing a lot of work, and we just don't want to keep talking about things. We just want them to be made.
Yeah.
So that's very time consuming. And then my family, and then moving up here,
Yeah.
which is a blessing. But it's been a very busy year. However, I had so many releases in 2013 and 14, Ambushed also, which was more a mainstream movie.
Mhm.
Um, but now, yeah, for 2015 and 16, there'll be a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're always working, aren't you? Do you ever take a vacation?
It's sad. I haven't been taking a vacation since 2006, believe it or not. I
Oh,
mean, and
really?
that was a 3 weeks fantastic trip to South America. From the
Oh.
Pampas to Argentina to up to, of course, Rio de Janeiro for Carnival, which
Mhm.
was pretty wild. But I remember that so well, and it's been almost a decade. So,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, so just take a couple weeks. But you look fantastic, Domi. Thank you so much for this interview. And we
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see Orgy of the Damned.
Thank you so much, Donna. It's always a pleasure, and I have so much respect for you as an entertainer, as an actress, as a
Oh, thank you.
journalist, and for more horror also, and for all of your show. That's always been so generous to me, and I appreciate this much. And I want to wish all the best for the end of the year and the upcoming holidays to your followers and your audience. And happy Halloween. Have a scary one, guys.
Okay.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you.